There are three types of communicators in every room you will ever walk into. Most people spend their whole life stuck in the first one without even knowing it. Some claw their way to the second one and think that's the ceiling. And a small number end up in the third one, and everyone in the room remembers what they just said. I'm going to show you exactly what separates all three, not personality, not charisma, three learnable behaviors. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which one you're right now and exactly what moves you to the next one. Level 1 I call the flat line. This is where almost everyone starts, and here's the uncomfortable part. Smart, capable people get stuck here for years without realizing it. A flatline communicator talks in one register, same pace the whole time, same volume, words come out evenly like reading a grocery list. Whether they are explaining something exciting or something boring. I used to do this constantly until I recorded myself for the first time. I watched it back and barely recognized my own voice. Flat, rushed, no shape to any of it. I sounded like I was reciting something I had memorized, even when I hadn't. There's the trap of the flatline stage. You can't hear it in yourself. It only becomes obvious when you watch it back, which is exactly why almost nobody fixes it. Here's what's actually happening. Your voice has zero variation, so your listener's brain has nothing to hold on to. No peaks, no valleys. Everything blends together and your message disappears into the voice of you talking. The fix starts with the most uncomfortable step in this whole video. Record yourself answering a real question for 30 minutes, then watch it back. That's the only way out of a state you can't hear yourself in. Level 2 I call the careful communicator. This is actually progress and also where a lot of people get permanently stuck. Careful communicators have noticed the problem. They have started using more of their voice, some variation and pace, maybe a pause here and there, but everything's controlled, measured, and safe. This is exactly where I was during my early speaking competitions. I had trained myself to add pauses and vary my pace, but I was so scared of getting it wrong that every pause felt calculated instead of natural. Judges could tell me it read as rehearsed, not natural. That happens because careful communicators are managing two things at once: what they are saying and how they are being perceived while saying it. Their split attention is exactly what keeps the delivery stiff, even when the technique is technically correct. And here's the part that trips people up even more. Careful communicators tend to repeat the same gesture over and over, the same head movement, the same head tilt, not because it fits what they are saying in that moment, but because it's become a nervous habit standing in for actual expression. The fix here isn't adding more technique. It's removing the fear of getting it wrong. Pick one gesture you use on autopilot and consciously stop it for a full conversation. It will feel awkward. That awkwardness is the signal of your body relearning to move on purpose instead of on habit. Level 3 is what I called magnetic. And here's what's strange about it. Magnetic communicators aren't thinking about the technique at all while they are talking. Pace, pause, pitch, and power. 4 things I have talked about on this channel before. All of it's running in the background completely unconsciously. Their voice moves because the moment moves. Their body responds to what they are saying, not the other way around. I'll be honest here. I'm not fully there yet either, but I have had glimpses of it. Moments mid-conversation where I stopped thinking about how I sounded like and just said the thing. And it landed exactly right. Those moments feel completely different from performing. They just feel like talking. That's because the magnetic communicators have practiced the mechanics so many times in so many real conversations that the mechanics stopped requiring attention, which means all their attention is free to go where it actually matters. The person they're talking to and the point they're making. And that's exactly why magnetic communicators tell stories instead of stating facts. Because a story does something a list of facts can't. It makes the listener picture something, feel something before they have even consciously processed the point. That's not a personality trait, it's a structural choice and it's learnable. Next time you're explaining something you care about, don't just state the point, attach it to one specific moment, a point, a place, onto a person. Because here's what happened when does more work than here usually happens. So flatline, careful, magnetic. Flatline doesn't know there's a problem. Careful knows but manages it out of fear. Magnetic has practiced it so much that the fear isn't running the show anymore. Here's the honest part. You don't skip stages. Every magnetic communicator you have ever watched spent real time being careful first, feeling stiff and overly rehearsed it before it became natural. The only real mistake is staying in flatline because you never looked at yourself long enough to notice you were there. Subscribe if this gives you a way to see actually where you are right now. I'll see you in the next one.